You know, if you had told me it had been 3 years since Chainsaw Man came out, I would not have believed you. And then I checked, and it's almost been 3 years. And I didn't realize until I saw this movie how much I missed it. How much I missed the characters, the animation style, and just kind of the humor of it all. But guys, the Chainsaw Man movie, the Reze Arc, is out in theaters now. I don't know if they've said when it'll be brought to streaming, if ever. I mean, it's going to be brought to streaming eventually, but I always take every opportunity, as you guys know, to see an anime movie in theaters when possible. I know a lot of you would like to see my reaction to it if possible, but there's just a certain experience you get seeing a movie at a movie theater that can't be replicated at home. I mean, you can do it as best as possible, like on your couch or something, but like just watching at your PC, like it's just not the same in my opinion. The sound, everything. And the theater that I went to for this movie had like moving chairs along with the action. The very first punch that got thrown in the movie, it was like that Squidward Mr. Krabs meme of them exploding out of the Krusty Krab. I am here to talk about the movie, my thoughts on it, whether it's good or bad. Spoiler alert, it's very good. Mom, I said freaking right there. And unlike the Demon Slayer movie review, this will not be spoiler free. I'm going to be talking about stuff in the movie. I'm not going to go into like crazy detail, but if you want the TLDR without getting spoiled, I really loved this movie. That's pretty much it. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. Subscribe if you're new for more reviews, and let's go. So for starters, I watched the trailer for this movie back when it came out, and I didn't really remember anything from it aside from like Reze the girl. And I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, I understand exactly what this movie is about. This girl, like Denji's gonna meet this normal girl. It's gonna be awesome, and then Makima's gonna mess it all up. I was so wrong. But you know, also kind of right based off that ending. Like even frame one, when I saw Reze in the movie, I was like, oh, she's evil. She's messing with him. Like no girl is just randomly like this, like nice, and not in like an incel-y way, but like she was so over the top nice. I was like, no, there's something wrong with her. For starters, I want to mention 3 characters that weren't really in this movie that I really missed. That being Power, Makima, and Pochita. Pochita wasn't even seen in this movie. I mean, Denji even talks to him, but we never even got to see him because, you know, he's inside of him, but still like a flashback or something maybe. And then like the whole thing with Makima and Power is like the reason the movie was even able to happen, because it gives, you know, Aki time with Angel, and then it allows Denji to get Beam. Can I just say, Beam, probably the best part about this movie, shockingly enough. Is the voice actor for Beam Tanjiro? I swear it is. Only certain voice actors can sound that excited about everything. My goodness gracious, I was ready to walk out of that theater and take a bullet for Beam. And in the very final fight, Beam just gets the absolute tar beaten out of him. And I was ready for like an emotional scene, because you guys know that you've seen it. Like if you've seen the movie, he gets like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus explosive punches to the gut, just eats all of them, and then he's just fine. He fell down. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna cry, and Beam's gonna slowly die. No, he's fine. He's him. I think the weakest part of the movie, I haven't criticized it at all in the slightest yet. I don't think there was that much like that could be improved in this movie, I will say. I think the weakest part was really the first half, and I don't want it to say that and you guys think that I'm just like a fighting fanatic in terms of like anime, because I like slow scenes. I mean, Vinland Saga and Frieren are 2 of my favorite anime, and season 2 of Vinland Saga is really slow. But I think the reason that the first half of this movie didn't feel like that grabbing to me was solely because I very quickly was like, okay, there's something wrong with Reze. And it was almost felt like I was like waiting for the reveal of whatever she was up to. But that doesn't mean that it was like a completely flawed first half. I really liked the scenes with Denji and her, and just watching another horrible person sink their teeth into Denji. Can we talk about how Denji is probably the most misunderstood MC in anime? Like genuinely. These people that say like Chainsaw Man is Coomer, it's like, yeah, there's like some boobs and stuff in Chainsaw Man, but like this man, Denji, is just constantly taken advantage of, and his lack of emotional intelligence is like at the forefront of everything. I will say I was wrong, because I thought originally that Reze was working with Makima, and like still she might be. What did Beam say again? Beam said that they had a line in the movie where he was like something about connecting Reze with Makima. I know we know now that Reze like works under the Gun Devil, which I still really really want to see one day. It seems like the Gun Devil is like the final boss of Chainsaw Man if it's not Makima. But besides that, there weren't that many lore implications, I don't think, in this movie. I mean, it was kind of cut and dry. I think the longest lasting thing will be the fact that Denji uses like the chainsaws as like, he uses them as like whips and stuff now, or can. I really hope Beam sticks around. Yo, manga readers, don't tell me anything, but tell me this. Is Beam, is he gonna be a part of stuff now? Please nod in the comments. I'm gonna be heartbroken if this is the only time we get to see him. I actually, okay, I'm giving myself a lot of credit here because I was really locked in on this movie. As soon as I found out there was like the tsunami devil, and then I saw Beam and I was like, the Beam's totally gonna swim in that thing, isn't he? And I was right. Oh yeah, Kobani's in this too. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the recap for this movie before going in to see if I remembered everything. And I remembered nearly everything, and then Kobani showed up on screen and I was like, ah, yeah, that's right. She's her. And then she did the whole thing where she was like crying and scared, and I was like, how much has changed? I don't think I've forgotten much at all, actually. Before I get on to like one of the other things I really liked about this movie, besides the stuff that I've talked about already, I do want to talk about the violence fiend too. That guy was just really funny and added just a nice element to the movie. He didn't need to be there. I don't think he contributed that much besides some fighting and helping them while they were in like the city portion. But I don't know, him, sort of similarly to Beam, didn't exactly have to be in the movie, but just added so much character to it. Because like Denji could have easily had a whole fight sequence with, you know, Reze and found a way to, you know, like run up the buildings and stuff, but sticking him on a shark with legs like the tralalero tralala AI meme, it adds a level to things, you know. Okay, the other thing I really liked about this movie that I just wasn't anticipating at all, again, I'm really glad I didn't watch any trailers before I went in besides the one I watched when it dropped, because I don't know if they showed these two characters interacting a lot in the trailers, was Aki and the Angel. Aki, talk about how you're fighting the bisexuality devil, buddy. Or is this a friendship blooming? No, but seriously, their like relationship in this movie and like getting to know each other was severely like understated in my mind. And I especially love how we got to see Aki use the future devil's powers, because that was the one thing that I really did forget about the first season. And as soon as he said future, like Angel, like I think luckily brought up like the whole like contract with the future devil. I was like, oh, and like my mind exploded and like everything rushed back to me all at the same time. But seeing him get to use that at work, kind of like observation, like advanced observation hockey in One Piece, like Katakuri. But Aki and the Angel, their relationship in terms of like getting to know each other, and Aki sort of giving this new perspective to the Angel, like even towards the end of the movie, whenever Makima wanted to put Reze down, I believe Aki was supposed to be the one to do it, but the Angel said like they would do it, or he would do it instead, and never even brought Aki, because Aki told him he didn't want to watch anyone die anymore. So he showed a semblance of, you know, humanity after that, showing that Aki actually got to him. I mean, Aki sacrificed, you know, what was it, 4 months of his life just to grab onto the Angel and save him, when he already only has like what, 4 or 5 years to live. So it showed how much of a sacrifice he made for someone that hadn't been nice to him in the slightest for like how long they'd been working together. But the animation of this movie can't be understated. I mean, like I tweeted it, like Mappa just doesn't miss. I don't think I've ever watched anything Mappa has made and just like not been super impressed by the animation. The final fight sequence of this movie is quite literally the second half of this movie. As soon as it's revealed that Reze is the bomb devil, it's a roller coaster for like an hour straight, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, man, it's probably like 40 minutes, but and it just kept going. I was like, no, this is gonna be the rest of the movie, isn't it? Then the final fight sequence with, you know, Denji riding Beam through this tsunami and the bomb devil's flying by in the background. This giant like baby looking thing is spitting out blood. I'm like, yeah, this is Chainsaw Man. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, this is what I've missed. It's just got a certain oomph to it. There was one detail I saw that someone pointed out on Twitter too, was how Makima had her teeth sunk into this whole situation the entire time, because I believe it's Denji and Reze talking about, you know, the country mouse and the city mouse, and like, which would you rather be? Because if you're the country mouse, you have a safe life, but you don't get to taste the city food. And if you're a city mouse, you get to taste the wonders of the city food and the city life, but you're more more in danger. And Denji and Reze had this conversation, and then at the end of the movie, I had it in the back of my mind, like, Makima's gotta know what's going on this whole time, right? She wouldn't just leave Denji in this like danger. At the very end of the movie, when Makima, you know, corners Reze and she brings up the country mouse thing, and I didn't realize at first, I'm like, oh, that's like them showing that she was there from the very beginning. And I think that's such a cool detail. But yeah, bro, I can't overstate enough how misunderstood Denji is. Like, I will fight tooth and nail against people that call him a coomer. He is, but it's so much more like not black and white than that. But I would say without a shadow of a doubt, you got to go see this movie. Also, if you do, or if you haven't yet, there is a post-credit scene. And at the end of the post-credit scene, this like clock is ticking in the background and it kind of like slowly fades to the black. And I turn to my friend Diddy Sauce and he looks me dead in the eyes and he goes, "The clock devil." And just real quick, another thing they absolutely nailed, I like to bring this up every time I like make a very specific notice of it, the soundtrack was nailed. There was a certain point in the movie, it's like the last fight when they are in like the typhoon, where I was actually like bobbing in my seat, and it was not the seat doing like, you know, the rocking, but that was a big part of it. Anywho, it is time to plug this into the rating bar and give this bad boy a rating. After my analysis and crunching the numbers, I am going to give Chainsaw Man the movie Reze Arc an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know if you've seen it and what you thought down in the comments below, whether you liked it or didn't like it, what specifically you did not or did like, and let me know what you want to see reviewed next. Peace.